Tigray and urge the international community for peace talks. Stop the war. 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 Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. We are urging the U.S. and the rest of the international community to intervene in Tigray now. War crimes are being committed by dictator Abiy Ahmed and dictator Isaias Afwerki for the past 2 months, and they have starved, bombarded, bombed, and attacked, massacred, and looted the people of Tigray. 2.3 million people are internally displaced, and 56,000 plus refugees are in Sudan currently fighting for their lives. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop raping women! Stop raping women! Stop raping women! Stop starving children! Stop starving children! Stop starving children! These children have gone for almost 70 days without food or water. They're struggling to survive as they're hiding in woods and forests to protect themselves and protect their families. It has been 70 days since we were able to communicate with our people. We don't know if they're alive or dead. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Abiy Ahmed has put a blockade on the communication within Tigray. No media outlets in Tigray are able to express their independent opinions, and he has blocked an international investigation into the matter as well. Abiy Ahmed is trying to hide the war crimes that he's committing in Tigray, and these war crimes need to come to light. Stop the war! Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want?
Peace!
When do we want it?
Now!
Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want?
Peace!
When do we want it?
Now!
Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want?
Peace!
When do we want it? This is the protest being held by the people of Tigray in order to condemn the actions of the Ethiopian government since it's bombing its own people using American drones, heavy artillery, and sophisticated military equipment. We call on the United States, the United Nations, the international community, and international media outlets to break the silence and call for ceasefire and humanitarian corridors to be open immediately. We need to reach out for the people of Tigray. They don't have cash, they don't have food, they don't have running water, they don't have electricity, they don't have telephone lines, they don't have internet, they have nothing. Our people are being bombarded behind closed doors. Abiy Ahmed is giving lip service to the United States and fooling the world. Stop the war! 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 Break the silence! Break the silence! U.S., we know you can see. We know you can see. Stop Abiy. Stop Isaias. Abiy is a killer. Isaias is a killer. Isaias is a rapist. Abiy is a rapist. Abiy is a traitor. Abiy is a traitor. Abiy betrayed today. Abiy betrayed today. U.S., bring down dictators. U.S., shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. U.S., blood on your hands. Blood on your hands. Break the silence. Break the silence. We all know that the United States of America was founded based on the principles of freedom and equality. We would like to ask the United States of America and its government, where are you? Where is the U.S.? 10 million people, over 10 million people are being bombarded daily by dictator Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki. And the only reason that he has is that the people of Tigray wanted to hold elections and choose their own leaders. Abiy Ahmed is standing against every principle of democracy and equality in the world. Stop Abiy, stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war!
Stop the war! Currently, the Ethiopian government has opened doors for a foreign army to get into Tigray and disgrace its people, loot the factories that Tigray has, disgrace the people, kill the children, rape the women, and burn the factories, burn the church, burn the schools, burn the mosques, and dismantle every moral value that Tigray has. And this is a war crime. This is a genocide. There is no better definition of genocide in the world than what Abiy and Isaias are doing together in Tigray. We demand that the world stands with us. Stop the war. 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 Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. It's been over 60 days since Tigray lost its power, electricity, internet, media, power, and everything. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the killing. This is a protest, part of an international campaign, rally, and protesting that is being done by Tagaru people living abroad outside Tigray. We call on all the international community, international media, and every person living in this world who has a proper and right moral value and standing. Stop this war. Say no to war. Help the children. Help the children. Help the children. Help the children. Drop food. Drop food. Drop food. Not bombs. Not bombs. Sending the doctors. Sending the teachers. Take out the troops. Take out the bombs. Stop the drones. Stop the drones. The people of Tigray all over the world would like to call and reach out to the United States of America so that it can stop selling drones to the United Arab Emirates. And the UAE is using it for the wrong purpose. The UAE is giving those drones to dictators all over the world. They did it in Yemen, they did it everywhere else, and now they're doing it in Tigray. Stop the drones, stop the killing. Stop the killing. Stop the killing. Stop the killing. Army must go. Army must go. Army must go. نحن تجارو نحن تجارو بسلام بار بغينات أنا بركاغرنا نحن تجارو بسلام بار بغينات أنا بركاغرنا تجري تسير تجري تسير تجري تسير نحن تجارو نحن تجارو بسلام بار بغينات أنا بركاغرنا Army must go! Army must go! Army must go! Stop the war!
Nizalotimbar, Nizalotimbar, Nizalaina, einem Birkachin, einem Birkachin. Oh, we must go. Oh, we must go. Oh, we must go. Isaias must go. Isaias must go. Take the Eritrean troops out. Take the Eritrean troops out. Take the Egyptian troops out. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Draw food, no bomb. Draw food, no bomb. Tigray will prevail. Tigray will prevail. Kimse erina. Kimse erina. Kimse de amene. Kimse de amene. يعود. يعود. أوت محفز. أوت محفز. It has been over 60 days since the people of Tigray have had access to basic necessities such as water, food, cash, and medicine. The people of Tigray are starving. 4.5 million are in need of emergency aid. Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide.
Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want it? What do we want it? If I can't hear you, that means they can't hear you. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Dictator Abiy Ahmed has colluded with dictator Isaias Afwerki to bring about the end of the Tigray people. They are bombing, massacring, selling, slaughtering, and starving over 10 million people who live in Tigray. This is a massacre and a genocide on multiple fronts. More crimes are being committed in Ethiopia by dictator Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki. We are urging the international community to get involved and intervene in Tigray now. Stop the war.
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 Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people. Save the refugees. Save the refugees. Save the refugees. There are 56,000 people currently seeking refuge in Sudan. These are people who had to flee their homes and everything they know and everything they love just to save themselves and their family. Children and innocent civilians should not be being murdered in another man's war. This is a genocide on every level. They're trying to annihilate and ethnically cleanse the Tigray people. Stop the war.
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 Stop the collusion.
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 This is the first time in Ethiopian history that the federal government colluded with another country to invade and attack their own people. There are 4.5 million people who are who are in need of emergency aid. 2.5 million people are internally displaced and need help. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Eritrean troops are currently in Tigray, massacring, lootering, bomb, and attacking and massacring the Tigray people. Their people do not need to be dragged into this war. They do not deserve to die at another man's hands. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Eritrean troops are currently attacking the people of Tigray, bombing infrastructure, murdering people, and committing massacres on every level. Thousands of people have died already, and we don't know how bad it is because the Ethiopian government has put a blockade on all media and refuses to have an international investigation. The international community has urged for peace talks, and Abiy Ahmed refuses. All he cares about is remaining in power. We need to take these dictators down. Down with dictators! Down with dictators! Down with dictators! Down with dictators! No justice, no peace!
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace!
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! US, break the silence! Break the silence! Break the silence! Silence is violence! Silence is violence! We are urging on the US to come and intervene in Ethiopia now. The people of Tigray need your help now more than ever. This is a genocide that is occurring. We've seen it before in Rwanda. We've seen it in Yugoslavia. We've seen it in Timbuktu. And it's happening now again in Tigray. You guys were late in Rwanda. You were late in Yugoslavia. And you were late in Timbuktu. Don't be late in Tigray. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Immediate intervention now.
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 We are calling on the international community and UN workers to open humanitarian aid into the humanitarian corridor into Tigray. It has been almost 70 days since the people of Tigray have not had access to food, water, basic necessities such as medicine and cash. They are hiding from the troops. They are hiding from the Amhara militias. They are hiding from bombs, and they are starving, and they are thirsty, and they have nothing. 70 days. Imagine going 2 days without food, let alone 70 days. The people of Tigray need us. They need the world to intervene now. Ethiopia has been there for you guys before. The people of Tigray has been there for the world before. And now we need the world to be there for Tigray. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Open humanitarian corridor. Open humanitarian corridor. Open humanitarian corridor. Drop food, not bombs. Drop food, not bombs. Drop food, not bombs. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Isaias. Down, down, Isaias. Down, down, Isaias. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Tigray people are being murdered for their right to vote. That should never be a thing that happens in the year 2021. America stands on the foundation of democracy. And if we truly believe that, we will intervene in Ethiopia and protect the democratic right of the people to vote and exercise their constitutional rights. Down, down, dictators.
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 America is watching, and I need my people to be loud. Down, down, dictators.
Down, down, dictators.
Down, down, dictators.
Down, down, dictators.
Stop the war.
Stop the war.
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide.
Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we?
No.
Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? The people of Tigray are suffering at the hands of dictators Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki. This is not the time for us to be silent. This is not the time for us to resort to violence. This is time for us to remain peaceful and vigilant. Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? 70 days the people of Tigray have been at the hands of massacres and bombs and shelling. The people of Tigray should not be paying for another man's war. The people are dying, the people are suffering, and they're starving. 70 days without food, water, or any type of aid.
This is a peaceful protest by the people of Tigray in order to condemn the actions of dictators. We are peaceful protesters who are currently undergoing peaceful protests to call on the United States of America and the United States government to stop helping and aiding and abating dictators who are all over around the world. Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki jointly are engaging in a military offensive on the people of Tigray to subdue the people from holding elections and to prevent them from exercising their freedom rights established on every human rights that are declared in the world. We demand that the United States intervenes immediately and stops the bombing, stops the killings, and starts to stand with the people of Tigray and the children of Tigray. We call on the United Nations, the United States of America, the international community, the international media outlets to look into Tigray and demand that the world intervenes and calls for peaceful discussions and dialogues. This is a peaceful protest again. This is a peaceful protest. We are people of peace. What do we want? What do you want again? We need to tell those herders that we're out here for peace. We don't need violence. We don't want violence. We know what violence can do. Our people have seen enough violence. We want to stop the violence. We don't need the violence. We've lost mothers. We've lost fathers. We've lost children. We've lost everything we used to have because of violence. This is a peaceful protest. We are calling on the United States and its government to intervene immediately and bring peace into Tigray, bring peace into Ethiopia. Stop the bombing. Stop the bombing. Stop the bombing. Stop the killing. 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 Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want? Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want? When do we want it? Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? What do we want? What do we want? This is a peaceful protest by the people of Tigray in order to call on the international community and the United States and its government to intervene and bring down dictators, to reach out to the people who are requesting immediate humanitarian aid. There are over 2.5 million people who are displaced within Tigray and 4.5 million people who are in urgent need of food, medicine, and basic services. Tigray is not currently providing basic food, internet, water, power, and banks and cash services. We call on the United States to intervene and use its influence to call on the government of Ethiopia to stop the bombing, to stop the war, and reach out to the people of Tigray, open humanitarian corridors, stop the war. 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 This is a peaceful protest being held by the people of Tigray to call on the international community to look into Tigray and understand what's happening in Tigray. The children of Tigray, the mothers of Tigray, are being bombarded and killed and raped every single day, every single second. Every second counts. We've already lost thousands of people. We don't want to wait until we lose millions. The U.S. cannot afford to have another Rwanda on its watch. You are late in Rwanda, don't be late in Tigray. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the killing! Stop the killing! Stop the killing! Stop the killing! Stop the bombing! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the killing! Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want? 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 Who's our leader? Who's our leader? Who's our leader? Who do we choose? Who do we choose? Who do we choose? Who do we choose? Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want? When do we want it? Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want? When do we want it? Who's our leader? Who's our leader? Who's our leader? Who's our leader? Down dictators. Down dictators. Down dictators. Down Abiy. Down Isaiah. Down killers. Down killers. Down killers. Return troops out of Tigray. Return troops out of Tigray. Return troops out of Tigray. This is a peaceful demonstration and a protest calling on the international community to reach out and look into Tigray and help the people, help the children, save the church from being burned, save the mosques from being bombarded, save the schools from being looted, save the factories from being burned down into ashes. We demand justice. We demand justice. We demand justice. We demand justice. Peace for Tigray. Peace for Tigray. Peace for the world. Peace for the world. We are people of peace. We are the people of peace. We are the sons of the people who fought and bled for peace. We don't need violence. We condemn violence. We know what violence can do. We know what violence can bring up into people and society. We are against war and violence. We have felt it. We have been through it before. We are calling on the international community and the United States to intervene immediately before millions of lives are lost. We are losing people every single second. Every single second counts. So we call on the United States to break the silence. Break the silence. Break the silence. Silence is violence. Silence is violence.
70 days since the people of Tigray have had access to basic necessities such as water, food, cash, and medicine. This is a genocide on the Tigray people, and we are calling on the international community to intervene now. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! This is a peaceful protest in order to protect the people of Tigray. We are protesting the Ethiopian government, dictator Abiy Ahmed and dictator Isaias Afwerki, and their involvement in the genocide against the Tigray people. The Ethiopian government declared war on the Tigray people on November 4th of 2020, and it has been over 2 months since the Tigray people have seen peace. They are hiding in woods, hiding in forests, escaping everything they know and seeking refuge. We have 56,000 people seeking refuge in Sudan. 2.2 million people are internally displaced, and 4.5 million people are in need of emergency aid. Open the humanitarian corridor into Tigray and save innocent lives. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Save the children. Save the children. Save the children. 2.3 million children are in need of emergency aid. Children should never be brought into war. These children are starving. They are thirsty. They don't have access to medicine, and they're hiding with their families. Some of these children have been taken apart from their families and haven't seen their parents. Some of these children have seen their parents be murdered right in front of their eyes before traveling on foot to another country. 56,000 refugees are in Sudan, if not more. These people deserve more. They deserve more from us, and they don't deserve to be involved in this. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Thank you, Sudan. Thank you, Sudan. Thank you, Sudan. Sudan UN has helped us before and they're helping us now. Those people have housed 56,000 of our refugees, if not more. And more refugees are attempting to get into Tigray, but the Ethiopian troops are blocking them from entering and seeking refuge. They have stopped them from being able to get aid, and they have blocked aid from entering Tigray. This is a deliberate action to end the Tigray people and bring about the ethnic cleansing of Tigray. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! This is a peaceful demonstration. We are against violence. We know what violence can do, and that is exactly what we're here to speak out against. We do not want destruction. We do not want murder. We do not want violence. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Who are we? 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 I can't hear you, so they can't hear you. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 This is a peaceful protest against the dictator Abiy Ahmed and dictator Isaias Afwerki and the governments of Ethiopia and Eritrea. The governments of Ethiopia and Eritrea have colluded together to bring about the end of the Tigray people. For over 2 months, they have been shelling, massacring, starving, and committing war crimes against the Tigray people. They're bombing infrastructure, universities, mosques, churches, and bringing about the end of the Tigray people, but they will not succeed. Tigray don't kneel. Tigray don't kneel. Tigray don't kneel. Tigray don't surrender. Tigray don't surrender. Tigray will prevail. Tigray will prevail. Tigray will prevail. We have been put in this position before, and now we're being put through it again. And just like we won before, we will win again. But we need to save as many innocent lives as possible in the process. That is why we're calling on the international community to intervene in Tigray now. 2 months without food, 2 months without water, 2 months without access to any type of aid. People are dying and starving. Thousands are dead already, and that's just an estimate. We won't know until you commit an international and an independent investigation into Tigray urgently. We need to open a humanitarian corridor into Tigray and save innocent lives. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Stop killing innocent people. Save the refugees. Save the children. Stop raping women. Stop killing children. Drop food, not bombs. Drop food, not bombs. Drop food, not bombs. The Tigray people have not had access to basic necessities in over 2 months now. This is a deliberate action to starve and annihilate the Tigray people. The Ethiopian government and Eritrean government are committing a genocide against the Tigray people, and it needs to come to an end. Stop the war! 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 Down, down, Abiy! Down, down, Abiy! Down, down, Abiy! Down, down, Abiy! Down, down, Isaiah! Down, down, Isaiah! Down, down, Isaiah! Down, down, Isaiah! This is a peaceful protest urging the end of the Tigray war and the Tigray genocide. Eritrean troops are currently in Tigray committing massacres on multiple fronts. They're looting, bombing, massacring, and starving the people of Tigray. They're taking what little resources we have from us, and they're taking it back into Tigray, and it needs to end. The Tigray people need humanitarian aid. 4.5 million people are in need of urgent emergency aid. 2.3 million of them are children. We need to save the children and save our people. This has happened before. Genocide is not foreign to this world, but we have a long-standing history of staying silent in the face of genocide, and that needs to come to an end. We were late in Rwanda. We were late in Yugoslavia. We were late in Timbuktu, and we cannot be late in Tigray. We need to learn from our history. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking they're going to get different results. That's not how this works. If we continue to stay silent in the face of genocide, more crimes will be committed, more people will die, and we'll be doing the exact same thing our ancestors did. It's time for us to change. It's time for us to stand up. We are calling on the international community to do better. Humanitarian access to Tigray needs to be open now, and we need to bring an end to the war. And Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki need to pay for their crimes against humanity. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! This is a peaceful protest against the Ethiopian government and the Eritrean government for committing ethnic cleansing in the people of Tigray. They have destructed our infrastructure. They have they've committed massacres against thousands of people. They're starving children, raping women, and killing people for sport. These people are inhumane. They're savage-like people with no type of remorse. The humanity in this world needs to shine now more than ever. We are calling on the international community to do better. Bring an end to this war and open humanitarian corridor into Tigray now. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Eritrean troops out of Tigray. Eritrean troops out of Tigray. Eritrean troops out of Tigray. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Abiy. Are we part of Ethiopia? Are we part of Ethiopia? Are we part of Ethiopia? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 This is a peaceful protest against the people, the government of Ethiopia and the government of Eritrea for their horrible crimes against the people of Tigray. They're committing an ethnic cleansing of the Tigray people, bombing, murdering, massacring, starving, and shelling the 10 million civilians who currently reside in Tigray. These are innocent people who do not deserve to be put in another man's war. 4.5 million people are in need of emergency aid. 2.3 million of those people are children. Children are starving. They have gone 2 months without access to basic necessities such as water, food, cash, and medicine. They're hiding in the woods. They're away from their parents. They're fleeing their countries and their homelands. 56,000 people, 56,000 refugees are now in Sudan trying to save their livelihoods. These people should not be having to endure this. This is another man's war, and innocent civilians are being caught in the midst of it. We are urging the international community and USA to intervene immediately. The people of Tigray need you. This is a genocide on multiple levels. We've seen this in Rwanda. We've seen it in Yugoslavia. We've seen it in Timbuktu. And you guys were late in Rwanda. We're telling you now, you can't be late in Tigray. Millions of people's lives are at risk, and it needs to end now. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 We are calling on the international community to intervene in Tigray now. The world has been there for Ethiopia before, and we need you to be there for us now. The people of Tigray are starving. They're thirsty. They have gone 2 months without basic necessities, and this is a peaceful protest demonstrating against the genocide of our people. You guys were late before, and we need you to be there for us now. Please stop the war.
Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Abiy is a killer. Abiy is a killer. Abiy is a killer. Abiy is a killer. نحن تجارو بسلام النار دخولات على البركبن. Stop the war. Abiy is a killer. Abiy is a Ethiopia. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want? What do we want it? Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? What do we want? When do we want it? I can't hear you, which means the people cannot hear you. Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? This is a peaceful demonstration against the government of Ethiopia for killing its own people, for killing children, for using American-made drones to kill children, women, men, to bomb schools, to burn churches, and burn factories down to ashes. We demand that the U.S. acknowledge these actions and then intervene in the issues of Ethiopia immediately to call on the international community to stop bombing Tigray, to call on Abiy to stop bombing Tigray. We demand peace, we demand justice, and we demand it now. We demand justice. 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 We want 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 peace. 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 What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. This is a peaceful demonstration against the government of Ethiopia and the government of Eritrea for killing innocent women, children, men, and bombing schools, universities, churches, and mosques. We cannot afford another Rwanda now. It's happening in Tigray. Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki, the two proven dictators, are currently using UAE drones, which are American-made, to kill children, to silence the questions of the people, to silence and quash the demands and the genuine demands of democracy from the people of Tigray. The people of Tigray are currently being bombed and killed only because they demanded to hold elections. We had elections and we are now being bombed. We want to urge the United States of America to use its influence and reach out to its world around to stop Abiy immediately, to stop dictators. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Yes, yes, we know you can see. We know you can see. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop bombing Tigray. Stop bombing Tigray. Grab food, not bombs. Grab food, not bombs. Send in the doctors. Send in the teachers. Take out the troops. Take out the tanks. Stop the drones. Stop the drones. We would like to reach out to the international community to intervene immediately and stop the people of Tigray from being bombarded and killed by their own federal government. The illegitimate federal government is using its unofficial power to subdue and crush the people of Tigray for only holding elections, for only wanting and demanding to choose their own leaders. The people of Tigray chose and elected their leaders. The people of Tigray held legitimate and right elections and chose TPLF for their leader. And the leader, the president of Tigray, is Dr. Humanitarian. We say no to Abiy. No to Abiy. No to Abiy. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, dictators. Down, down, Abiy. Down, down, Isaias. Down, down, Isaias. Down, down, Isaias. The world was made in Rwanda. The world was made in Yugoslavia. The world was patient and philosophy. Do not be patient with Abiy. He will crush Ethiopia. He will crush East Africa. He will have another massive pole on your head. Stop while there's time. We have only lost thousands. We cannot afford to lose millions again. There's still time to save millions. Save the millions. Save the children. Help the children. Keep the children. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! If the world learned evidence, if the world learned anything from the genocide in Rwanda, it should be involved in the issues that have been happening on the people of Tigray. The people of Tigray have only done and held elections to choose their own leaders, and now they're paying the price. The people of Tigray, the children of Tigray, the mothers of Tigray are being killed, raped, and looted only because they wanted to choose their own leaders. We demand that the United States show its true stand and stand with democracy, stand with freedom, stand with its value for election. We know the U.S. values its election, and now there are 10 million people who are currently being bombed every day just only because they demanded that they have elections. Elections are not a crime. Election is not a crime. So break the silence. Break the silence. Break the silence. U.S. Break the silence. U.S. Break the silence. Break the silence. Break the silence. Break the silence. Help the people. Help the people. Feed the children. Send the medicine. Send medicine. Send the doctors. Send the doctors. Send the doctors. Do the schools. Build schools. Build schools. Not camps. Not camps. Not camps. We want food. Not drones. Not drones. Not drones. The people of the Tigray will want to urge the United States and the government of the United States of America to stop selling drones to the UAE because the United Arab Emirates is giving the same drones that are American made that were sold to the UAE to bomb Tigray, to bomb children, to bomb innocent mothers, to bomb schools, to bomb churches, to bomb mosques. We cannot afford to sit back and watch. U.S. must intervene. U.S. must show its true stand. Stand with democracy. Stand with the people. Stand with the suppressed. Stop the war. 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 Stop the killing. Stop the killing.
Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? I want to see your hands. What do we want? 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 When do we want it? 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 This is a peaceful protest against the current ongoing genocide of the people. Dictator have gone to war with the people of Tigray. 2 months since the people of Tigray have had access to basic necessities such as food, water, cash, and medicine. This is a humanitarian crisis, and there are 4.5 million people currently in need of urgent emergency aid. 2.3 million of them are children. This is the side of the Tigray people. Eritrean military is currently in Tigray committing treason and killing, massive bombing and looting. The Tigray thousands have died. We've seen this before in Rwanda. We've seen it in Yugoslavia. We've seen it in Timbuktu, and it's happening again. The world cannot turn. We're calling. Stop. Killing innocent people. 56,000 people, if not more, have fled their homes and have fled to Sudan. 56,000 plus refugees have sought refuge in another country because their own country has failed them. The country of Ethiopia has colluded with Eritrea and gone to war with their own people. They have been bombing, massacring, shelling, and slaughtering, starving their people for over 2 months now. Imagine going 2 days without water, let alone 2 months. The people of Tigray need us. They need the international community to do better. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
I can't hear you. That means they can't hear you. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Down, down, Abiy.
Down, down, Abiy!
Down, down, Abiy.
Down, down, Abiy!
Down, down, Abiy.
Down, down, Abiy!
This is all a result of the Tigray people exercising their constitutional right to vote. If America truly believes in democracy, they will intervene in Ethiopia and stop the collusion that has caused the destruction and murder of thousands of people and multiple infrastructure. Tigray has had multiple casualties on multiple fronts. The people of Tigray have suffered mass amounts of losses. Thousands of people are dead. Our churches and mosques and universities are being bombed and destructed and looted. Our ambulances and our hospitals have been looted. The people of Tigray have nothing but us. We are their voice, and we are urging the international community to intervene in Tigray now. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop
Stop
the war.
the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
This is a peaceful protest against the ongoing genocide of the Tigray people. We've seen this before in Rwanda, in Yugoslavia, in Timbuktu. We were late in Rwanda. We can't be late now. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Who are we? Who are we? Raise your flags. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 This is a peaceful protest against the ongoing genocide of the people. The Egyptian government have colluded together to bring about the ethnic cleansing of the Tigray people. 10 million people are at risk. 4.5 million are in need of emergency aid. 2.3 million of them are children. 65 days since we have had communication with these people. We don't know if our families are alive or if they're dead. They have come for us and everything we stand for. This is collusion and treason and genocide on multiple levels. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the collusion. Stop the collusion. Stop the collusion. Stop the collusion. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? Is this as loud as you can get? Because if not, I'm severely disappointed. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? This is a peaceful protest against the genocide of our people. If anybody's going to listen to us, then we need to be loud. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want it? What do we want it? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? It's been over 2 months since the collusion of Ethiopia and Eritrea has brought about the destruction of our people. Our family members are being murdered. Our family members are being massacred. Our infrastructure is being looted and destroyed and bombed by heavy artillery on multiple fronts. This is a genocide on every level. We need to bring about an end to this, and we are urging the international community to apply economic pressure on Ethiopia to end the war. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide!
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 We're urging the international community to get involved and intervene in Ethiopia now. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Who are we?
Come
Who are we?
on!
Who are we?
Come on!
Are we part of Ethiopia? Are we part of Ethiopia? Are we part of Ethiopia? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? Where are we from? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? I want to see it. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? 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 Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 This is a peaceful protest fighting for the rights of 10 million people currently residing in Tigray. 4.5 million people are in need of emergency aid. Our hospitals and our churches, our schools, our universities have been destruction. The people of Tigray deserve more from us. We are urging on the international community to intervene in Tigray now. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop the war.
Stop the war!
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people!
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people!
Stop killing innocent people.
Stop killing innocent people!
Say no to war.
Say no to war!
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 Drop food, not bombs.
Drop food, not bombs!
Drop food, not bombs.
Drop food, not bombs!
Drop food, not bombs.
Drop food, not bombs!
It has been over 60 days since the people of Tigray have had access to food, water, cash, medicine, and other basic necessities. The people of Tigray are starving and hiding and fleeing from their homes. Women are giving birth in the deserts and in the forests and the woods like wild animals. Young girls and young boys are being raped and murdered for sport. These people have no humanity. Stop the war.
Stop the war!
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 Stop the genocide.
Stop the genocide!
Who are we?
Come on!
Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? I want your energy. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it? 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 I appreciate the support of my community so much. We have been here together since day one and we continue to fight until Tigray will prevail. Because everybody here knows Tigray will prevail. It's just a matter of saving as many lives as we can in the process. Thousands of people have died already. We cannot wait until it's millions. We've seen it in Rwanda, we've seen it in Yugoslavia, and we saw it in Timbuktu. It's happening again in Tigray, and we will not stop until it ends. Save the children. Save the children. Stop the war. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. Stop the genocide. I want to introduce Nahom to give a speech for our people. He's going to speak on behalf of the community. Everybody, please give a round of applause for Nahom.
لما عدوا العالم كله زي تقراي بحالة رواية بيوصل محل في الزغونة بليز كلها تقرا شنو أيهم ناينا أيهم ناينا we Tigray will prevail. 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 Okay, all right. So we have a speech prepared by Tigray community and Saddle Tagaru youth. So it's going to be a speech that's already prepared. So I beg you for your patience. This is a message for the U.S. government and all the governments around the world who have the moral standard to uphold constitutional rights and democracy and who want to be the beacons of democracy and equality in the world. So, okay.
अभी वो देना روبن ايوب تفضل بلا مثل يا
Stop the war! Stop the war! Okay, I'm going to give this speech now. We're all gathered here in order to stand up for our Tagalog people who are going through immense and devastating dehumanization by an illegitimate federal government and by an unexperienced foreign dictator, Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki. The ongoing war on Tigray has unleashed indiscriminatory savagery on the land of the freedom-loving people of Tigray. The unelected Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed a few months ago used COVID-19 as an excuse to postpone a duly election which violated the Constitution of Ethiopia, which is founded based on the ideals of respect for the rights and freedoms of nations and nationalities. Tigray as a state which undeniably has paid dearly and exceptionally for the equality of all nations, nationalities, and people of Ethiopia, felt cornered as that is exactly what the people fought against. The suppression of minorities in Ethiopia did not start today. It existed throughout the history of it, and various nationalities within its boundaries have felt the pain for quite a long time. The Oromo, Somali, Benshangul, Afar, Walaita, Gambella, peasants of Amhara, and the general public of Tigray are among those who suffered for the existence of the empire. 3 decades ago, the people of Tigray concluded a 17 years long struggle for equality with victory by overthrowing the then socialist and military dictatorship. The nobilities from the losing side ended up facing a proper judicial court on account of their actions against the minorities. Few from the oligarchs evaded to Western countries, including the United States, and took cover. They misled superpowers of the world into working against their best interests. They presented themselves as champions of democracy when all their track record showed otherwise. They drew the minorities calling for equality as enemies of the state and the world order. The country was transformed and was unequivocally placed among the fastest growing economies in the world. On the contrary, those who lost their domination were never satisfied as it was all done under the equality of nations and nationalities in Ethiopia. If it is not a system they dominate, then it is for sure not the right system in their eyes. The Western world sided, aided, abetted those who are now killing millions of men, women, and children only because elections are considered as treason in Ethiopia. Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki deployed all the military firepower they have on the people of Tigray. It has now been more than 60 days since Tigray went into complete lockdown and blackout. Regional and international organizations were very hesitant in addressing the conflict. We hope people in the world have learned from what happened in Rwanda. We guess not. The African Union Commission under Musa Faki is nothing but a disgrace for justice. Musa Faki officially recognized the war in Tigray as a legal law enforcement operation. Almost all the technologically advanced nations equipped with most sophisticated technologies verified the presence of Isaias' troops in Tigray. The US and the UK are among them. We wonder how he was able to brand that legal even in the eyes of the African Union Charter. Aside from Tigrayans, Eritrean refugees in Tigray also faced grave and inhuman killings and abductions, which negated the international laws protecting refugees. Isaias, as a master and evil genius of destruction, refrained from officially addressing to confirm or deny his involvement. Though not with ample focus, the United Nations seems to be looking into the war on Tigray as continuous human rights violations are presented. If the genocide in Tigray is not timely addressed, the ramifications of it can surely destabilize the entire Horn of Africa. The deployment of the UAE drones in the war is another irresponsible and unnecessary act by the Gulf Cooperation member country. The drones give nightmare to our children. In general, the atrocities against the people of Tigray are not given proper and genuine attention by the world. And we, Tigrayans living all over the world, call on the world and the international community, specifically the United States, to live up to the moral standards it was founded on and help the petty Tigrayan innocent lives as deaths inflicted by a dictator in Ethiopia has become a random news. Senators, congressmen, and women here, we call on you to try and look into what is happening in Tigray, as it may be one day in your in your favor, in your future might face the question, what did you do about the genocide in Tigray when you had the chance? We hope the answer for that would not be nothing. What seems easy for you can make a critical difference for those in dire position of life and death. A phone call, an email, a meetup, or inquiry from you is far greater than millions of dollars you sign on for aid for countries like ours. In conclusion, the war in Ethiopia is war on freedom, and fight back from Tigray is a fight for survival. And we again call on the entire Ethiopian minorities, international community, and mainstream media to stand on the right side of history and stop the genocide. Have a great story with a great ending to tell your children and grandchildren, even though the beginning is not inviting. Tigray has never and will never bow and surrender for those who want to destroy its livelihoods, and will undoubtedly defend its existence with the precious lives of its victorious children. These too shall pass, and we all shall once again unite in our beloved Tigray. Victory for the Tigray Defense Forces. Tigray prevails. Thank you.
2 months ago, dictator Abiy Ahmed and dictator Isaias Afwerki colluded together to bring about the end of our people. Since that day and every day since then, every person here has come together and supported their community against this fight. We are a peaceful people, and our people back home are peace-loving people as well. We did not have these kinds of problems before dictator Isaias and dictator Abiy Ahmed interfered in our regional government and took away our rights to vote. If the American community and the American government truly stand for democracy, they will intervene in Ethiopia and condemn Abiy Ahmed's actions as well as the genocide against Tigray. This has happened before, and the international community has a long-standing history of staying silent in the face of genocide. We are urging for change, and we're pushing for peace. We are urging for the international communities such as China, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, India to apply economic pressure on Ethiopia. Take your finances out of Ethiopia. We're urging for regular civilians in our communities to boycott Ethiopian airlines and put economic pressure on Ethiopia. Abiy Ahmed has made it clear he does not care about saving innocent lives. The children don't matter to him. The women don't matter to him. The elderly don't matter to him. And the sick don't matter to him. All he cares about is retaining power. All he cares about is filling his pockets. So that's where we need to hit it. We need to hit him where it hurts. Once he realizes this is no longer benefiting for him, then he will fall back. Again, I'm urging the international community to apply economic pressure on Ethiopia, and I'm urging our civilians to boycott Ethiopian airlines. Once we take away their money, they will fall back. They don't care about saving lives. But the people who do is the UN. I'm urging the UN and the rest of the international community to open humanitarian corridor into Tigray. The people of Tigray need you. They're starving and they're scared. It has been 2 months since they have had access to basic necessities such as food, water, medicine, cash, and anything else they need to survive. They're hiding in the woods and forests. Women are giving birth in fields and bushes and dying along the way. 56,000 people have entered Sudan as refugees, if not more. And we appreciate the Sudan and the people of Sudan for protecting our people when our own government came to murder us and massacre us. This has never happened before in Ethiopian history, where Ethiopia has colluded with Eritrea to attack their own people. This front of Ethiopian unity is merely a facade. Abiy Ahmed has fooled the entire world with his motion of peace. His Nobel Peace Prize needs to be revoked from him. There's no such world where peace and war can go in the same sentence, and that is exactly what Abiy Ahmed is. He's just war. He's a vicious, inhumane, unstable, genocidal murderer. Him and his dictator Isaias Afwerki need to be taken down, and they need to be held accountable for the war crimes they have committed in Tigray. Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the war! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! To my people here, I appreciate your guys' support so much. The community has come together since day one, like I said, and not just the Tigray community, but the Richard community and the Roma community. I appreciate you guys so much. There's still so much work to be done. We are planning another protest for the 22nd that's going to be in Olympia. More information will come out from there, and we're going to continue to host more events. Please show out the way you guys have and continue to use your voice. This is the most important thing we can do, as our people back home have no voice. They have no access to their phones, internet lines. They can't even leave. If they were to try to leave, the Ethiopian government has placed troops at the borders to make it so that they can't go into Sudan anymore. We know why they've done this, because once they're in Sudan, they have the ability to tell us what they've endured. And that's exactly what's happened. Our refugees are telling us what's happening. The pictures have come out. The proof is in the pudding, and you can't hide anymore. The war crimes that you, Abiy Ahmed and Isaias Afwerki, are committing will come to light, and you will be held accountable for your crimes. It's only a matter of time, because the people you see here, we're not going to give up. The people all over the world fighting and protesting right now, we're not going to give up. You messed with the wrong people, because Tigray people are strong. Tigray people are resilient. Tigray people prevail. We do not kneel. We do not surrender. And this is a fight that you will not win. The ethnic genocide of Tigray will never occur. You guys have tried before, and it hasn't worked. So stop trying. We're not a type of people that you can give in on. We will succeed. We will prevail. We do not kneel. We do not surrender. If that is your goal, give up now, because it will not happen. You're taking countless of lives in the process, but it's not going to happen. Tigray will prevail. Tigray will prevail. Tigray will prevail. To my people back home, I know you might not hear this because of the blockade that's going on, but if you hear this, I am with you guys. We are with you guys. People all over the world are fighting for you guys. You guys are trending on Twitter, 300,000 tweets in 24 hours. That was us fighting for you. That is our voice. That is Digital Wayane. That is who we are. We're here for you, and we will not stop. We will not stop. We will not stop until Tigray is its own nation, until we can step foot on our own soil and say this is our country. And nobody can stop us from getting us there. So you guys continue to try, but it will not happen. I'm so proud of us. I'm gonna get personal here. I mean, I honestly didn't even know we had a Tigray community in Seattle. I've been so despondent and so cut off just because of how I grew up, but I'm so happy that I was able to find this community. And it's unfortunate that these are the circumstances that we found ourselves in, but that just goes to show exactly what Tigray people stand for. We're here for unity, we're here for peace, and we're here for solidarity. We're a resilient people, we're a strong people, and here we are fighting for what's right, fighting for what matters. As we continue this fight, I urge us to please reach out to other communities. It's really important that we get other communities involved. If you have a certain craft or a skill or career, collaborate with people in other communities and bring attention to this. I have people here recording what's going on. We're going to create a digital kind of market to bring awareness to what's going on, and hopefully that will also bring in other communities. If you're an artist, reach out to other people who are artists in your community. Paint a mural, start an organization. If you're super tech-like, create an app, or use your skills and collaborate with people who are outside of your community, and then they will then share their work with their communities, and it'll bring more attention to our cause. It's great that we're here and we're in solidarity with our own people, but we need to bring an international conversation, and we need to reach our other communities. If you guys have any other ideas, please bring them forward. Everybody here, we are here looking for support. If you want to talk, if you want to scream, if you have an idea, bring it forward, and we'll collaborate with each other, just as we always have, to continue to bring support for our people. No idea, nothing is not enough, nothing is too little. We need to continue to say no to war, continue to fight for our people, and bring forth all of our ideas to bring it. It's going to take every single one of us, every single voice, That is why I urge for you guys to scream and I urge for you guys to be loud because we are their voice. They don't have one right now. If they did, we know exactly what they would be saying, and we're here to speak for them. And that is exactly what I'm urging you guys to do. Please don't give up. I know we won't. Tagadu people don't kneel. We're resilient people, and I know we are going to prevail. Tigray تستعد. Tigray تستعد. Tigray تستعد. Tigray تستعد. أينهم ناينا. أينهم ناينا. أينهم ناينا. Thank you, everybody. Seriously, I appreciate you guys so much.
የቀኔና ፕሮግራምና ዝግነ አንቲ ሃገር ትግራይ መዝሙር ዘሚራና ይባላል ዝበፅሕ ዘሎ ወጣ ዓጠጠው ገለ ምጥና ምስማዕ አይነቋርጥን እሞ ብዛ ለማዓንተ ዓርቢ ከተሶም 22 ጃንዋሪ 22 ኣብ ኦሎምፒያ ሰላማዊ ሰልፊ ክንገብር ስለዝኾነ ኣፈላደርኩም ዝግባሞ የቀኔና ትግራይ ትስዕር አንተ ነገር ሳይን ዝሓዝኩም ባንዲራ ዝሓዝኩም ባነር ናብ መኪና ምለስዎ ስለንደልን ምለስዎ እና ሕዘ ይኮነ ነገርም ዘመርማ ይዘምር መዝሙር አለ መዝሙር ዘመርና ግን አጥፋታና መኪና ንምለስሞ ያቀነና ትግራይ ትስዕር
መዝሙር ናይ ትግራይ ስለዘሎ ናይ ትግራይ ብሔራዊ መዝሙር ስለዘሎ አንሳዕ ብግዘልና ጠጠውና ባንዴራታትና ሓፍ ነብል ዝሓዝናዮም ባነራት ምልክታት ሓፍ ቢልና ንዓለም ነርኢ ብዝተባሃለ መጠን ዳርጋ ወዲና ኢና ስለዚ ናብ መዝሙር ንሓልፍ ኢና ኩላና ብኩርዓት ቀጥ ኢልና ጠጠው ኢልና ብክብሪ ንዘምር ብሔራዊ መዝሙርና